So anytime you have a raw plastic bumper, you always want to refer back to your manufacturer guidelines or your whoever supplies your paint. You know, they all have different ways to prep a raw plastic bumper. The main goal is to release the agents from the mold, like the oils and stuff like that, when they create these, and release these from the molds off of the bumper. And they also, raw plastic can, you know, they can generate static. And what you want to do is you want to just make sure you take care of these raw plastic ones properly, because there's a special way to prep these. You can't just sand these with a red Scotch-Brite, or you know, you can't sand these with DA paper. Some people use like plastic prep kits. Some people use like sanding putty wet with gold Scotch-Brites. The way I do these is I do them with a gray Scotch-Brite and my water cleaner. That will help reduce the static on them and stuff like that. But the first thing I do is I check all these edges to make sure where the mold was released that all these are not raised, because once it goes on the car you're going to see these. And this bumper doesn't look too bad. I've kind of already looked at it, and I've kind of walked the bumper to see. There is some on this side. There's also some damage to this bumper, which I will take care of before it comes out of my booth. But there is some stuff right here that I do need to cut off the bumper, and even right here there's some extra plastic. And that's like you'll see that once it goes on the car, and it looks really bad. It doesn't look flush with the fender. It looks like there's extra plastic. So that is one of the first things I'll do actually. So I'll actually, before I prep it, I'm gonna get a razor blade and I'm gonna shave those off. So I got my razor blade. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take care of this extra plastic, and I'll show you once I cut it off. So as you can see, I'm shaving off extra plastic that does not need to be on this bumper. It's just gonna make it look bad once it goes on the car. And this is on a lot of bumpers, especially aftermarket bumpers and stuff like that. See all that? When that goes on the car, you're gonna see that. It's gonna draw shadow, it's gonna look bad. So you always wanna make sure to check these edges as much as possible. So there's a few other little spots we'll, you know, shave off and take care of. Bam. The other side on this thing looked pretty good. It didn't look too bad at all, so I think that'll do. There is some little chewed up spot right there, but I'll take care of that. There's a special way to take care of those like chips and stuff on raw plastic bumper. What you want to do is you want to pretty much prep the bumper, put a little adhesion promoter right there, and then, you know, skim it, sand it down. That way the putty sticks to that. If you just try to skim a raw plastic bumper after you prep it, it's not going to hold, it's not going to stick. It needs something to grab onto with the raw plastic. So now I'll prep the bumper out. So ideally you want to soak it. You know, the water helps neutralize static. It's really nice if you have a stat gun or some type of, you know, static wipe or something after you do it, but not everybody has a stat gun and stuff, so you just got to do the best you can with what you got. So now that I got it all wet, I soak my Scotch-Brite and then I'll start scuffing it. Just like any other part. You don't need to apply a lot of pressure, you just really want to get it deglossed. I mean, there's going to be some gloss to it. It's not going to sand flat. It's not a primered bumper, it's a raw plastic bumper. So the key is just to get it, you know, scuffed up, help release the mold agents to clean out the stuff so you don't have a reaction. And, you know, like this bumper will take adhesion promoter once it goes in the booth. It's not like a primered bumper that you can just seal and go. It is a bumper that requires adhesion promoter. If you fail to do the adhesion promoter, obviously you'll get exactly what it sounds like, no adhesion. And you don't want that bumper coming back, you know, after they get out of the car wash and half the paint blows off the bumper. I've seen it many times. I fixed those bumpers. You just really want to be thorough, you know, get it nice and scrubbed up. Make sure you get all the edges really good. And after we prep it, we'll wipe it down, blow it off, get all the water off. We'll double check it, make sure everything's good. And then we'll load it into the booth. And we'll get ready to paint it. You always want to wear gloves too, because anything you prep these with, you know, most anything in any shop, it absorbs into your bloodstream super fast. It's just like if you know, acetone gets into your bloodstream within like, I don't know, 8 to 10 seconds or something like that. It's not healthy. It's really bad for you. And we all fail sometimes, and we're in a rush and we get it on us, but you really want to take care of yourself when it comes to proper protection for what you're doing. Everything in a body shop is pretty hazardous, so you really want to take care of yourself. So we'll just finish getting this all scuffed up. And you kind of want to do circles and stuff like that. Don't use your fingers, don't dig on it. Just same as scuffing a car. Use your palm. You know, make sure you get all your edges very well. And then we'll wipe it down. We'll check it, make sure everything got scuffed right. Blow all the water out. Good to go.